I thought prison ended our terror. Then Nate called Lily his niece. He left a note demanding her back. What's his next move? I was at rock bottom, fired from a soul-sucking job in Chicago. My life felt like a dead end, so I booked a spontaneous trip to Miami, desperate to find some meaning. The sun, the beach, the promise of escape, it called to me. I checked into a small hotel near South Beach, dropped my bags, and crashed onto the bed, wondering what the hell I was doing. That's when I heard a soft rustle. A folded note slid under my door, catching me off guard. My heart skipped. I grabbed it, unfolded the paper, and read, "My therapist says I need to take risks. This is one. Room 214. Emma." I stared at the note, my mind racing. Was this a prank? A mistake? I figured she just wanted to chat, maybe make a friend. I'd been so down on myself, I couldn't believe a woman would see me as anything more. But something, call it fate, call it a gut punch, told me to go for it. I smoothed my hair, took a deep breath, and walked to room 214. When Emma opened the door, my jaw hit the floor. She was stunning, bright green eyes, a warm smile that lit up the room. My cheeks flushed, and she noticed, pinching them gently. "You're adorable," she teased, her voice like a melody. I laughed, nervous, feeling like a kid again. The next 4 days were a dream. We wandered Miami's streets, sipping coffee at hole-in-the-wall cafes, laughing until our sides ached. We danced under neon lights, our feet kicking up sand on the beach. One night, in a steamy hotel bathroom, we drew hearts on the fogged-up mirror, giggling like teenagers. We even made up a goofy handshake, our pinkies locking in a secret promise. I fell harder than I ever had. Emma was fearless, funny, and real. But then, reality hit. She lived in Seattle, across the damn country. On our last night, her eyes welled up. "I've never met anyone like you, James," she whispered, her voice cracking. I couldn't think straight. The words just spilled out. "I'll come to Seattle. I'll follow you." Her face lit up, tears turning to joy. She threw her arms around me, and I felt alive, like I'd found my purpose. We stood at the airport, her hands in mine, promising to make it work. I flew back to Chicago, my heart soaring. For the first time in years, I wasn't just drifting, I had a plan. Emma was my plan. But life doesn't care about plans. 2 weeks later, her text came like a punch to the gut. Her ex, Ryan, was sick, really sick. She felt obligated to be there for him. She couldn't give me what I deserved. Not now. She sent a video, her eyes red, doing half our handshake. "You're the best guy I know," she said, voice breaking. I watched it on loop, my chest aching like it was caving in. That was it. She was gone. My phone buzzed, and Emma's name lit up the screen. I froze, heart pounding, hoping for good news. Instead, her words gutted me. Ryan, her ex, had cancer. She owed it to him to be there, she said. She couldn't be with me, couldn't give me the love I deserved. Her voice, in that final video, cracked as she did our handshake alone. "You're the greatest, James," she whispered, tears streaming. Then, silence. No calls, no texts. She vanished from my life, leaving a hole I couldn't fill. I sat in my Chicago apartment, staring at the ceiling, replaying those Miami days. The pain was physical. My chest ached, like someone had ripped my heart out. I tried texting her, but no reply. I watched her video until my eyes burned, hoping for a sign she'd change her mind. Months passed, each day heavier than the last. I'd walk by cafes we'd never visited, imagining her laugh. I couldn't shake her. Friends pushed me to date, but every woman I met felt like a shadow. None had Emma's spark, her fearless spirit. I was stuck, a ghost, haunting my own life. Work became a blur. I took a job at a marketing firm, but my heart wasn't in it. Nights were the worst alone. I'd scroll through old photos, torturing myself with what could have been. I wondered if Ryan was better, if they'd rekindled their love. The thought made my stomach churn. I tried therapy, but talking didn't erase the emptiness. I felt like a fool for believing in fate, for thinking a 4-day romance could last. I stopped believing in meant to be. 9 years dragged by. I stayed single, unable to let go. Dates never went past coffee, nobody compared. I moved to a new apartment, hoping a change of scenery would help, but her memory followed me. I'd see a woman with green eyes and freeze, heart racing, only to realize it wasn't her. By my late 30s, I accepted I might never find that spark again. I'd settle, I told myself, for a life without her. But deep down, I wasn't ready to give up, not yet. 9 years after Miami, I was still haunted by Emma's ghost. I'd moved to Chicago's bustling Logan Square, chasing a fresh start, but my heart stayed stuck. I was pushing a cart through a grocery store, lost in thought, when I saw her. Across the aisle, her green eyes caught the light. My breath hitched. Emma. She hadn't changed, still radiant, still her. My hands shook, the cart wobbling. Then I saw a little girl beside her, clutching her hand. My stomach dropped. Was this her daughter with Ryan? Had they rebuilt a life together? My eyes stung, and I turned to walk away, my chest tight. "James?" Her voice stopped me cold. I spun around, dizzy, and there she was, smiling that same smile that had stolen my heart. "Is that you?" she asked, stepping closer. My face burned, and like that first day in Miami, she pinched my cheek, laughing softly. "Still adorable," she teased. We started talking, words tumbling out. The years melted away, and my knees felt weak. The little girl, Lily, tugged at Emma's sleeve, staring at me with curious eyes. I forced a smile, but my mind raced. She had to be Ryan's. We grabbed coffee at a nearby cafe, Lily sipping a juice box. Emma's story poured out. Ryan never never had cancer. He'd lied, faking medical reports to guilt her back. She stayed for 2 years, trapped by his manipulation, until he cheated again. She left for good, raising Lily alone. Then, the bombshell. "Lily's yours, James," she said, her voice soft but steady. My heart stopped. I looked at Lily, her eyes so like mine. "From Miami?" I stammered. Emma nodded, tears welling. "I tried to find you, but I didn't know how. I was scared. I felt a rush joy, shock, anger at the lost years. I was a father." We spent hours catching up, laughter mixing with tears. Emma had moved to Chicago for a gallery job, rebuilding her life. She'd dated, but never found what we had. "You made my heart dance," she said, echoing my own thoughts. I tried to play it cool, but my grin gave me away. "Oh, tough guy, huh?" she teased, leaning in. Then she kissed my cheek, soft and warm. I melted, my walls crumbling. That night, we went to my place. We sang, danced, made love like no time had passed. I held her close, whispering, "I love you." She said it back, and I believed her. Lily slept in the next room, my daughter, our daughter. I was whole again, but the past wasn't done with us. A week later, Ryan showed up at our apartment, banging on the door, demanding to see Emma. My blood boiled. I stood firm, blocking the doorway, while he ranted about his family. Lily's existence was a shock to him, but he claimed her as his own. "This isn't over," he spat, his eyes cold. Emma trembled behind me, and I knew our happiness was under threat. Again, Ryan's shadow loomed over our new life. That first confrontation at our Chicago apartment set the tone. He stood in the hallway, face twisted, demanding to see Emma. "She's my family," he growled, as if Lily and Emma belonged to him. I planted myself in the doorway, heart pounding, refusing to let him near. Emma clung to Lily, her eyes wide with fear. I told him to leave, my voice steady despite the rage bubbling inside. He smirked, muttering, "This isn't over," before storming off. I locked the door, but the chill of his words lingered. Days later, a massive bouquet of roses arrived at Emma's gallery job. The card read, "I'm sorry, let's be a family again." Her hands shook as she tossed it in the trash. I saw the fear in her eyes, the same fear from years ago. Ryan didn't stop. He started texting her vague at first, then threatening. "You can't keep Lily from me," one said. "I'll always find you." We reported it to the police, but they said it wasn't enough for an arrest, just a warning. I felt helpless, my fists clenching at the thought of him near my family. He escalated. One afternoon, Emma called me, voice trembling. Ryan had shown up at the gallery, charming her coworkers, asking about her schedule. Her boss sent her home early, noticing her panic. I confronted him outside the gallery, my blood boiling. "Leave us alone," I said, my voice low, barely containing my anger. He laughed, smug. "I raised Lily for years. I've got rights." My stomach churned. He was lying, but the audacity shook me. We consulted a lawyer, Sarah, who confirmed Ryan had no legal claim since I was Lily's biological father. Still, she urged us to document everything and file for a restraining order. The harassment didn't stop. Ryan started parking across from our building, watching. Neighbors noticed, whispering about the strange guy in the black sedan. One night, I caught him staring up at our window, his silhouette lit by a street lamp. I called the cops, who issued another warning, but they couldn't do more without hard evidence. We installed security cameras, their red lights blinking in the dark, a constant reminder of our vulnerability. Emma barely slept, jumping at every creak. Lily sensed the tension, asking, "Why's mommy scared?" I hugged her, promising we'd keep her safe, but my own fear gnawed at me. Then, Ryan crossed a line. Emma got a call from Lily's preschool. Someone matching his description was seen near the playground. My heart stopped. We rushed to the school, finding Lily safe but shaken. The staff had followed our strict pickup protocol, thank God. We updated the school with the restraining order we'd finally secured, banning Ryan from coming near, but the damage was done. Emma broke down that night, sobbing in my arms. "I brought this into our lives," she whispered. I held her tight, my voice firm. "This is his fault, not yours. We're in this together." Our community rallied, neighbors kept watch, and our friend Mike, a security guard, checked on us daily. But Ryan's persistence was suffocating. Every step felt like a battle, and I wondered how much more we could take before something broke. Ryan's harassment grew darker, more insidious. The restraining order didn't stop him. It was like a challenge. He started spreading lies in our Logan Square neighborhood, telling people at the local coffee shop that Emma was unhinged, that she'd stolen Lily to spite him. I overheard a neighbor, Mrs. Carter, whispering about it at the park. My blood boiled, but I kept calm, explaining the truth. Most neighbors knew us, saw how we doted on Lily. They didn't buy Ryan's story, but the rumors stung. Our friend Tom, who ran the corner store, banned Ryan after he tried asking about our routines. "Guy's trouble," Tom muttered, handing me a coffee. I nodded, grateful for the support. One evening, Emma's phone buzzed with a new message from Ryan. "You can't hide forever. Lily's mine." My stomach twisted. We saved every text, every call log, building a case with our lawyer, Sarah. She was a bulldog, assuring us we had enough for a stronger restraining order. But Ryan was slippery. He started using burner phones, leaving voicemails that danced around direct threats. "I just want to talk," he'd say, his voice eerily calm. Emma's hands shook every time she heard it. I wanted to smash something, but I stayed strong for her, for Lily. Then he went too far. Lily's preschool called again. A man matching Ryan's description was spotted taking photos from across the street. My heart pounded as we raced to the school. Lily was safe, safe, coloring in her classroom, but the fear in Emma's eyes mirrored mine. We tightened security, giving the school an updated restraining order and photos of Ryan. The principal promised vigilance, but I could see her unease. That night, Emma curled up against me, whispering, "What if he never stops?" I held her close, my jaw tight. We'll make him. Ryan's next move was bolder. We found our car's tires slashed in the apartment garage. No proof it was him, but the timing screamed his name. I installed more cameras, their feeds lighting up my phone at all hours. I barely slept, checking them obsessively, jumping at every shadow. Then, a neighbor tipped us off Ryan had approached them, spinning a sob story about being a wronged father. I confronted him outside our building, my voice low, controlled. "Stay away, or you'll regret it." He smirked, unfazed. "I've got friends, James. They're watching." My skin crawled. Friends? Was he hiring people? We hired a private investigator, Claire, to dig into Ryan's moves. She found he'd been posting on a shady online forum, painting himself as a victim, sharing our address, Lily's school. My blood ran cold. He was crowdsourcing his obsession, rallying strangers to his cause. Claire traced a photographer at the park, some guy named Ethan, a buddy of Ryan's. His camera had dozens of photos of us, taken over weeks. The police gave Ethan a warning, but no arrest. Not enough evidence, they said. I wanted to scream. The stress was crushing us. Lily started having nightmares, clinging to us at bedtime. Emma lost weight, her eyes hollow. I was on edge, snapping at co-workers, my job hanging by a thread. We saw a therapist, Dr. Lee, who specialized in stalking cases. She taught us coping strategies, breathing exercises, ways to talk to Lily without scaring her. But the fear was relentless. One night, Emma broke down, sobbing. "Maybe I should take Lily and run," she said, voice breaking. I pulled her close, my own eyes burning. "No way. We're a family. We fight this together." Sarah pushed our case forward, filing for an emergency hearing. We gathered evidence, texts, photos, neighbor statements. The judge extended the restraining order, covering Lily's school and Emma's workplace. We exhaled, thinking we'd won a battle. But Ryan was a ghost, always one step ahead, and I knew the war wasn't over. Ryan's shadow clung to us like a curse. Chicago felt like a cage, every corner hiding his threat. Emma and I decided enough was enough. We had to protect Lily, protect ourselves. We packed up and moved to Portland, Oregon, chasing a fresh start. Emma's gallery offered her a transfer to their sister location, and I negotiated remote work with my firm. Portland's misty air and quiet streets promised peace. We rented a cozy house in a gated community, its tall fences and security patrols easing our minds. Lily, now 5, was thrilled about her new room, oblivious to the storm we'd fled. But Ryan wasn't done. A week after we settled, Emma got a cryptic text from an unknown number. New city, same story. My heart sank. How did he find us? We changed our numbers, locked down our social media, but the fear crept back. Our lawyer, Sarah, filed for a new restraining order in Oregon, citing Ryan's history. The judge approved it, but we knew paper wouldn't stop him. Neighbors in Portland were kind, but we kept them at arm's length, paranoid about who might be connected to Ryan. I checked our cameras daily, their grainy feeds a constant reminder of our vulnerability. Then came the worst blow. While unpacking, I found a tiny camera hidden in Lily's favorite teddy bear, a gift she'd had since Chicago. My stomach churned as I ripped it apart, wires spilling out. Ryan had been watching us, maybe for months. I called Sarah, my voice shaking with rage. She urged us to take it to the police. The footage was grainy but damning Ryan's face, clear as day, planting the device during one of his visits. The police arrested him for criminal stalking, a felony charge. He was detained in Chicago, awaiting trial. We exhaled, thinking maybe this was the end. But Ryan's reach stretched further. His sister, Claire, started calling Emma's new workplace, spinning lies about her unstable past. Emma had to explain everything to her boss, who was supportive but wary. Then a letter arrived, forwarded from our old Chicago address. No return address, just Ryan's handwriting. "Lily needs her real dad." My blood ran cold. We reported it, and the police traced it to Claire, who claimed she was just helping her brother. She got a warning, but no charges. We felt trapped, like Ryan's family was closing in. We doubled down on security new locks, motion sensors, a panic button wired to the police. Lily's preschool got a copy of the restraining order, and we drilled them on safety protocols. Emma and I barely slept, taking turns watching the cameras. Lily sensed our tension, asking, "Why's everyone so serious?" We smiled, hiding our fear, but it was eating us alive. Our friend Mike, now in Portland for a security job, checked on us weekly. "You're not alone," he said, his voice steady. It helped, but the weight was crushing. The legal battle intensified. Sarah presented the camera evidence in court, along with texts, letters, and neighbor statements. Ryan's lawyer argued he was mentally unwell, not a criminal, pushing for treatment over prison. We fought back, refusing a soft plea deal. The judge sided with us, sentencing Ryan to 3 years in prison with no early release. We celebrated quietly, a bottle of wine on our porch, but the scars remained. Portland was our haven, but Ryan's ghost lingered. I held Emma's hand, promising we'd rebuild. She nodded, her eyes tired but hopeful. We were battered, but we were together. With Ryan behind bars, the air in Portland felt lighter. Emma and I dared to hope again. We moved from our rental to a small cottage in the suburbs, its backyard blooming with wildflowers where Lily could play freely. The constant dread that had choked us began to fade. We planned a quiet wedding at a historic chapel in the Oregon countryside. Just us, Lily, and two close friends, Mike and Sarah. Lily, our flower girl, practiced her petal tossing for weeks, her giggles filling the house. On the day, Emma walked toward me, radiant in a simple dress, her green eyes sparkling. I squeezed her hand, whispering, "We're safe now." She smiled, but her glance darted to the small crowd, a reflex from years of fear. I kissed her forehead, grounding her in the moment. Our vows were simple, raw. "I choose you, always," I said, my voice cracking. Emma's "I love you" felt like a promise carved in stone. We danced under string lights, Lily twirling between us. For the first time, we felt whole, but peace was fragile. A month later, during a quiet dinner, Emma's phone buzzed. A message from our lawyer, Ryan's mother, had posted online, calling Emma a liar who ruined her son. My stomach twisted, but Sarah sent a cease and desist letter, shutting it down. We refused to let his family steal our joy. Emma's gallery work flourished, her exhibits drawing crowds. I expanded my consulting business, hiring 2 freelancers. Lily, now 7, painted with Emma's flair and my stubborn streak. We built a life hikes in the Columbia Gorge, rainy days at art museums, barbecues with new friends. The hypervigilance eased, replaced by normal worries, school projects, bills, planning date nights. One evening, as Lily chased fireflies, Emma handed me an envelope. Inside, tickets to Miami. My heart skipped. "To remember where we started," she said, pinching my cheek like that first day. I laughed, pulling her close. "No fear this time," I promised. We flew to Miami, Lily marveling at the beaches where her parents fell in love. We retraced our steps, cafes, boardwalks, even drawing hearts on a hotel mirror. Lily added her own, giggling. Standing there, watching my family, I felt a weight lift. Our story, born in a fleeting moment, had survived lies, fear, and loss. Emma leaned into me, her warmth steadying my soul. "We earned this," she whispered. I kissed her, knowing she was right. Our love, battered but unbroken, was the ending we'd fought for.